Governor Hogan visited West Maryland last week and sat with the editorial staff at the Herald-Mail. He covered a wide range of topics, including jobs, gun control, heroin addiction, the state's budget, and road projects. Ken, did you hear anything that you think will have an effect on our region needs to prosper?
Well, I definitely think that, addressing the heroin addiction is, absolutely paramount. That is a serious issue in our area. And something else that I'm also very happy about is that he wants to address mental health issues. Now, I do have my concerns, though, that while he said that the current gun control laws aren't effective, there's also no mention of him wanting to roll them back. Any thoughts?
Well, I heard from a good source that Maryland will probably become a right to carry soon. I heard it's in the works. So there is a possibility that the gun owners of the state of Maryland will be very pleased to understand that they will be right to carry, just like West Virginia and a few other states.
How's he going to get that through a predominantly Democratic Senate and House?
Are you going to just use the governor,
So he's
as
going
a
to use
bully
his
pulpit?
pen and his cell phone?
Yeah.
No,
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no,
didn't
he's
think we
going
liked
to use
that.
it as a bully pulpit. I mean, beat them up until they go into.
I think it might be a little harder to beat him up than you suspect. I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. I would personally. So number one, I can never picture myself carrying a gun into the mall or anywhere else. I just don't picture it. Okay, I'm not upset that if somebody else would, assuming that they have the
training.
Right. And assuming they have the demeanor.
Right.
Because, if one is carrying a bat and one gets into an argument, one might be more tempted to use the bat than if you weren't carrying the bat.
Well, as a firearm owner, I have no problem with someone who knows what they're doing carrying a firearm.
Right.
But the key there is they need to know what they're doing. Okay, so we can't just issue a concealed carry to anyone off the street without any training whatsoever. There absolutely needs to be a training aspect required.
Yeah. I agree with that as well, being retired military. The military goes through yearly training to qualify for firearms. Rifle, if you're military police, you qualify for rifle and pistol. I think anybody who wants to own a handgun in the state of Maryland or in nationwide should go through a thorough background check, mental check, as well go through a firearms training program.
Absolutely.
And I agree with that because the military does it. And I agree, if you're going to carry a firearm, you need to be thoroughly trained.
So what about things like, and I don't want to get off on this tangent, but we're here, so let's explore it for just another minute.
Yeah.
What about the guy who now it's free carry or whatever we're going to call that in Maryland? Okay, so I'm a free carry guy. I go out to the bar at night and I get drunk.
So right there is where I need to stop you because, in most, probably all carry states, you are not allowed to drink at a bar and carry.
You're not allowed to drink and drive either, but people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, right now you're not allowed to have concealed firearm, but people do it in Maryland. Follow Baltimore Police's Facebook page. They post pictures of the guns they confiscate all the time.
My point is, I think our Second Amendment is precious. I want as many citizens as want to be able to own guns.
Yeah.
My second point is, though, I think we should build a society where you don't need to carry them around with you all the time.
In certain places should be like, I don't believe in gun-free zones. You see what happens in California and universities. It's just a scenario for disaster for criminals to walk in or people to do their harm. And that's what we have to protect ourselves from.
So what about some of the other topics? Heroin addiction we covered, gun control we covered,
So something
jobs.
Yes.
What are we going to do about jobs
So
in
I
Western
absolutely
Maryland?
love, that Hogan said that he's going to try to change the 3 most frequently cited problems with Maryland, and that's that Maryland has been traditionally viewed as an anti-business climate, regulatory issues in Maryland, as well as the non-competitive tax structure. Because let's face it, there's a lot more tax incentives to go up to Pennsylvania or go over to West Virginia than there is to come to Western Maryland.
So Maryland, the last statistics that I saw, and they may be old, we were 33rd out of 50 in terms of business friendliness. So there are several that are below us, but there are more than half that are above us in terms of being business friendly.
Yes.
Does he have the runway left to do that? I mean, I know he just got elected, but let's face it, guys, we don't have a real good track record of re-electing Republican governors in this state.
Well, you know, the Western Maryland delegation is going to have to fight for this too, because our corporate tax here chases business away. When is the last time that a manufacturing facility opened in Washington County, Garrett County, Allegheny County?
Now, there's supposed to be
Yeah.
one opening in southern Washington County. That was when a couple of county commissioners went over to Korea, and supposedly they're going to be building something down in the south part of the county, but checks in the mail.
Yeah.
Well,
My thing is, you got Mack Trucks. We're talking about jobs. Volvo. I work there, and
Yeah.
right now we're going to lay off because the economy is starting to slow down. You got food resources here to lay off, so you got different places. We need jobs here in Washington County to keep our Washington County people employed. And on top of that, when they're not employed, they go homeless. And we need to take care of our people here and get the people off
Yeah.
the street.
Absolutely. And before Volvo, there were over 500 jobs lost this year in Washington County. Now, Volvo makes that over 700 jobs.
No, did you find it hard though? I saw an interview with the governor on TV, and he was saying that that there's the rumor that Western Maryland has no friends in Annapolis, and he was sat down. He very bluntly said, "I'm here to tell you, Western Maryland now has a friend in Annapolis.
That's
There's no
awesome.
one else." Do you take heart in that?
Well, I do, because I know that there were a lot of people in Western Maryland who helped make sure that Hogan was elected.
Yep.
And I think that he is actually going to be paying back on that debt. And I've been very impressed so far with what he's done. I had my reservations, I really did, but I've actually been truly impressed that he has fulfilled his promises so far.
I think he's been the best governor we've seen in a very, very long time. I'm 50 years old, and he's done more things as a governor than I've seen since the 80s. So he gets things done, even after his cancer bout.
Okay. Well, Jim, I think we'll let you have the last word on that.
Okay.
Next up on the flip side, homeless children in Washington County. The numbers are staggering. Stay tuned for that discussion.